Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It means the absolute world to me. So it is unbelievably the end of December. Can somebody please tell me where the month went and where the year went? Because I lost it somewhere along the way, can't find it nonetheless. It is that time to discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of the products that I tried. They're products that may not be new to me, may not be new to the market, but they're the ones that I've played with, gone back to, have newly tried, and have either been loving or not so much during the past month. There are so many of them, so I really try to break them up so the video isn't 19 hours long. 19 hours, 30 minutes, 42 seconds, yeah. So, I tried several palettes this month, and I haven't really had a bad experience with any of them. I have a few new palettes that I got that I just started playing with, but I really want to give those more time before I put them in, like, my month in review, what I thought about it. So the first one is the Violet Voss palette. You may have seen me do a look recently if you are not new to my channel. This we got in our Boxy Luxe. This can very quickly become my favorite palette because it does have a very neutral color story. It does not have super pressed glitters or anything over the top. What it is a wonderful on the daily palette. You are going to get many neutral looks out of this, but you can deepen them up, you can lighten them up. I personally can do a lot with it. If this is not your type of color story and you like palettes with that one major pop of color or that pressed glitter that you can go all out on, then this probably wouldn't be the palette for you. But for me personally, on the daily, I would gravitate towards this, and I do gravitate towards it all the time, and I absolutely love it. The quality of the shadows is beautiful. I've used, I'd say, a good 60% of the shadows thus far. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Speaking of subscription boxes, we got in our Allure box a mini Juvia's palette. Now this was my first foray into Juvia's Place. They're a black-owned brand and they do shadows exceedingly well. They know what they are doing. In the larger palettes now, Allure misspoke when they called this a $20 palette. This palette is, I think, sold for $8, $8 to $10, and it is the Nubian. It's the mini Nubian palette. As I said, they do shadows very, very well. There are other palettes you get much larger pans, but this is mini, and this is absolutely perfect. Now, if you were to compare it to the Violet Voss palette, you will see the color story is essentially the same. Now you can see exactly what I gravitate towards on the daily. I love these neutral colors. They are beautiful, soft. I do not experience fallout. Their shimmers are creamy and just adhere well. Their mattes are creamy and pigmented and blend beautifully. I love this one. Again, it is quickly becoming one that I do grab for quite often. Two last eyeshadow palettes that I've really been playing around a lot with, and that is, I wanted to grab out my Naked 3 Smoky, no, just the Naked 3 palette. This was one that has a very mauve-y color story to it with these deeper shades down here. You can see they're kind of sectioned off into quads. You have no real pressed glitters, but some beautiful matte, satin, and shimmer shades. And again, it's a very neutral palette, but it's a wonderful neutral palette that you can make a smoky eye, or you can go lighter and stay in this family if you're just looking for something lighter for every day. I do happen to enjoy the brush that is in here, not for my whole look, but this one for packing. I do a little bit of blending, but of course I do need other brushes as well. I do like that they put the names on here. I, of course, can't see them because, you know. And instead of coffee today, because I just filmed a very interesting video before, which may or may not be up before this one, I'm really not sure. This is just a good glass of Moscato. Yummy. The other palette that I'm so I'm kind of surprised that I really love, and it's very different from the two that you just saw, is the Morphe 35M palette. Quite a difference from what I just showed you in Me Loving. Yes, again, if you look in this area, I can dupe these three colors right here in both of those palettes, as a matter of fact. But this, using these greens here, I use this little section right over here to create looks when I want a green look. The purples and everything in between, and especially the black. I'm in love with this black because it has such a creamy texture to it and it's not crumbly. And you can even go browns. There's like many different color stories in here that you can get. You can combine them all or you can use them individually. It wasn't an expensive palette. It was $24. And I have to say, I really, really enjoyed the palette. Morphe has its own set of controversy, of course, but if I like something, I like something. I'm not making any money from it, so if I like it, I'm going to tell you that I like it. Moving on, I have been using this Smashbox palette, the little trio that I picked up for like, I don't know, $7 on the 75% off clearance rack when I was in Ulta. These are just, I keep trying to find all of these shades in other bronzers and I just haven't found it. These are just so perfect for me. This one's cool toned enough to be a contour. It's just gray tone enough. You know, some of them are too gray. Even the one I think I have on now is just a wee bit too dark for me. And this one's just a beautiful bronzer. And then this one again, I mean, I've talked about this before. I will, if I want to get truly chiseled, you know, cheeks. I'm no beauty guru, but sometimes you like that to be a little extra. I just like it. I love the formula. It's not on sale anymore. It's back up to $24, but I kind of think it's worth it even at the full price because I just keep pulling for these because they are such a perfect colors, at least for my skin tone anyway. I have honestly been enjoying my Laura Mercier, the under eye setting powder. I very, very lightly powder underneath my eyes. If I powder heavily or try to bake, I look like the Crypt Keeper. Insert picture here. We don't want to look like that. So I use extremely little so I can tell you that this is going to last me forever, which is as long as it doesn't go bad, which is fine with me. But it's a very finely soft milled powder that I literally will just touch up right underneath here most of the time because that's where, right up against the lash line is where I will tend to get some creasing, and maybe I'll touch a little bit here if my concealer is too tacky. But I've been using this pretty much on the daily. I haven't pulled out my other, I have two other under eye setting powders and I haven't been playing with them that much. I will continue to talk about this Melani setting powder. I love this stuff. I've talked about it. I think I talked about it last month. I just can't tell you how much I love it. This, to me, as I said, it does rival the Hourglass Dim Light powder. And it's maybe, I don't know, an eighth of the price, possibly. If you like the Hourglass Dim Light, which I loved that powder, I still might choose this one over because it just gives you that nice finish. It doesn't have a white cast because it's not a pure white translucent powder. It does just give your skin like a nice healthy glow, but not highlighter glow. Just like that, what a finishing powder should do. I love it. Two little blushes that I've been absolutely enjoying. This one, again, you know, they get thrown in the back of the drawer, and then you have other ones that you just keep pulling from. So I decided to pull these out a little bit. This is the Becca blush in Snapdragon. You might think that it's a very, very bright blush, and it does have a hint of shimmer to it. But look how pretty. And if I've talked about this before, no, I'm pretty sure I have. But again, it's just, for me, it's about what I've been using this month. It blends beautifully and it buffs into the skin. Again, not so you look like you have like shiny cheeks or glittery cheeks. It just gives you a nice, bright, healthy sheen to it, which is surprisingly, I always thought I only liked matte blushes, but I've been playing with that a lot and I really like it. And honestly, the same, that was in Snapdragon, by the way, and this is in Peach Sheen. This is the IBY Beauty blush. I like peach blushes I like berry, I like rosy tones. Because I'm neutral tone skin, I can pull off a lot of color blushes except for like purples. Anything too cool toned makes me look dead. This one is a bit stronger, so you do have to be light-handed. But again, it has a slight sheen, but it doesn't have a sparkle so that you look like just your cheeks are glowing like a clown. So I've been going back and forth between those and using a couple of others from like kits that I have already when I want more neutral. But I really like an ish. IBY Beauty is not that expensive. And I did get this Becca at 75% off. Just throwing that out there. Now this was a recommendation. I know I talked about this in one of my last haul that I did like a month ago. Now I remember who recommended it to me. Tati was talking about, I believe, some drugstore products that she really enjoyed. And this is from J.cat Beauty. And the thing that she did mention, which already happened, was it had a little pull stopper here that kept the product from like doing exactly what it just did and going all over the place. That thing lasted about 2 uses. I have to say she was right. I mean, it did. Hold on, this is like everywhere now. It did do a good job. She like raved about it and made it seem like it was the best thing next to sliced bread, which these people usually have a tendency to do. I liked it. I think it was fairly compatible to my Clinique eye makeup remover. It has a very pleasant scent, which is nice, and it doesn't sting my eyes, which is wonderful. I said that little stopper thing is a pain in the tuchus, so they need to improve that. But I definitely like it. It is much less expensive than the Clinique Take the Day Off, which is why I'm enjoying using it. But I hate when they set this bar for what this product is, and then you buy it and you're like, okay, it's a good product, you know, but, you know, they set these expectations so high that I don't think any product can actually truly live up to them. I'm going to keep using it, and I probably will buy it again, but, you know, it wasn't, you know what I mean? This stuff, it's a little ball, and I kind of want to throw it through something, to be honest with you. This is Tatcha the Pearl. Freaking expensive. Yeah. Luckily, I got this at the 20% Sephora sale, which happened kind of at the end of August or whatever. I keep trying to make this work. Let me show you if you don't know. I mean, you can see it looks like I've barely dipped into it, but you need they say a pearl-sized amount. Do you know how hard it is to get a pearl-sized amount when you dip your finger into it? Did I say a pearl? I meant to say a rice grain-sized. And it's very hard to do that, so you wind up having it put on both eyes. But the problem that I have is the color, it does kind of brighten your eyes underneath, but I can't get it not to look cakey. They say to pat it in and all this other stuff, but it never quite absorbs into the skin enough where it doesn't get like that lacy, like it looks like you have a piece of lace underneath your eye. And my concealer never goes on well on top of it because I still need the concealer. I have to look, I mean, because it is so expensive. I have to figure out how to get this to work. Because no matter how I try, I'd stopped using an oil because I use under eye oils. I tried not using the moisturizer, but then it's too drying. I'm all over the place. I am determined to get this little ball thing to work because I just can't figure out how to do it. These I got in a kit when I went to Sephora and I had my $100 gift card that I had to spend when I cashed in my points. This is Glow Recipe. This is the Watermelon Sleeping Mask and this is the Daily Moisturizer. They are fairly good in the ingredients. I can say that this is a little too light for me. Not light in color, but light. I love that it has a pump, by the way. But light, I usually have to put something else on top of it. I know they say skincare ingredients should not have fragrance because it is technically an alcohol. But it smells like freaking watermelon. And my skin does really feel moisturized, but in the winter, I will sometimes have to put like my First Day Beauty Cream on top of it. But just rubbing it in, it's got a nice slip to it. The ingredients are not that bad. Are they the super best? No, but they're not bad or else I wouldn't have bought it. This, on the other hand, is, I love this. Again, the scent. This is the sleeping mask. Now, with this, I put on my retinol. I put on my under eye treatments. I put on a moisturizer, my nighttime moisturizer, and then I put this on top of it. It will feel wet and slippery for a while. You have to let it absorb into the skin, but by the time my head hits the pillow, that stickiness, tackiness is gone, and I do enjoy using it. And I bought it in a kit, so I saved some money, and I was not mad about that. This is the Joah primer. It's the Glow Activator primer. This one is supposed to be like the Yves Saint Laurent a primer, or the Guerlain primer with a little gold flecks in it. It is silicone-y, but not as much as the Smashbox. I'm just not enjoying the Smashbox. It doesn't have glitter. It doesn't give you that glittery look. It is silicone-y, but it also feels very moisturizing on the skin. Now, I don't know if you can see. It's such a subtle little sheen that, again, you don't want to really see it and notice it. But it makes very nice canvas for your foundation to go on. And I have been liking this just as much as the Yves Saint Laurent one that I do have. And this, I think, was only about $8. You can get it in the drugstore, so I'm happy about that. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. This is supposed to essentially be a highlighter. I don't use it as a highlighter. I use it all over before I put on my foundation because it's glowy, but it's not so glowy that you look like the Tin Man. But see how it's got that subtle sheen to it? I obviously don't want to put it underneath my eyes, but before I put on my foundation, after all my moisturizers have set in, I will put this on, and I really like the way it looks. If you wanted a subtle highlighter, but I don't like cream and liquid highlighters, you could certainly add it as one, but I like just spreading it all over my face, and I love the effect, and of course I got this at 90% off. Just saying. Along those same lines, but these are a little bit of a stronger effect, which is why I brought that one up first. These, again, are the L'Oreal Glow Amore. I've been absolutely adoring these. Again, I mentioned them before many times. This one is more pink. You can use this as just a highlighter if you want to. Again, I tend to use them all over just with a light hand because although they are not glittery, I can't say the word glittery, not like the, what was it? We got one on our BoxyCharm that is like pure on, like, oh my gosh, glitter like in your face. But, and this one is more bronzy, so I'm using a foundation that's a little bit darker. I will tend to use this one underneath to warm up my skin a little bit before I use that foundation that has a tendency to be dark. They're inexpensive, relatively, from L'Oreal, but I have to tell you, the one that I also have been enjoying, which I don't have in front of me, is a little baby one I got in my Ulta Advent calendar. Same thing. I think it's actually even cheaper than that. So between those, I've been really loving them for just giving me like a glow. This. I very rarely dislike something to the point of being angry that I bought it. But I am. This is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Swatching a beauty guru. I know they hate being called that, but come on. But they hype these products so much. This is the Painterly Paint Pot. This can either be an eyeshadow. Most people use it as an eyelid primer. Now I told you that I'm not a huge eyelid primer person because I'm wearing one today that I'm wearing the Ulta one, and it's creamy. It's not drying. This one, the color is fabulous for canceling out discoloration on your lids, but this makes my eyelids so dry and textured, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, what happened to my eyeballs? I hate this stuff. I have tried so many ways to make this work, so many, and I even tried just using it here. If I get it in this inner corner, I look scaly. I look like a lizard. Not that lizards aren't cute. There's no discrimination against lizards. But it just looks terrible. And on screen with all of their fabulous lighting, they're like, look how it smoothed everything out. Maybe it does if you're 12. or 20. Not for, yeah. This one upset me because I wanted to love it. This was my first little dive into NARS lipsticks. I don't have the color of this available. I need clean hands. Hold on. Now, I've heard nothing but amazing things about NARS lipsticks, and you're like, oh, when I got them in the little mini kits that I paid half price for, which is why I'm not horribly upset about it. I was so excited I got a NARS lipstick. Here's the issue. Maybe just the color. This just doesn't go on well. It's patchy. It's like a frosty peach, but it's so patchy. It's not opaque enough to look good on your lips. If I'm going to have a frosty peach, let it be frosty peach. It's just not opaque enough. I don't find it that comfortable. It's not that creamy on the lips. Yeah, I just, maybe other ones are better. If you have experience with any NARS lipsticks, please let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I just got the wrong color, or the midi ones are not as good as the big ones. I would love to know your thoughts. I knew I was going to get mad. We got this NARS eyelid primer, eyeshadow primer, in one of our boxes. I was like, I don't want to like you. I do not want to like you because you are so ridiculously expensive. And I like it. As a matter of fact, I love it. It is actually the best one that I have. I love my Ulta, but I tried this on, and gosh darn it, I really like it. It's a white base. It doesn't show up white, but what it does, look, I'm almost out of it. It's so depressing. It just gives a nice, adhering, creamy, non-drying base to your eyeshadow that I really enjoy. I will not go out and buy it. I will deal with my Ulta, but I like it. Just saying. So I've been praying, or I do pray all the time, but I wasn't praying over my eyeliners. Maybe they do need praying over. I don't know. I've been playing around a lot with many different eyeliners. Found lots of ones I don't like. Found lots of ones that I do. This one was recommended to me, again, by Tati. The only reason I tried it because they had a buy one get one free on Almay. And she was saying how much she really enjoyed the Almay Real Smooth Liner. Again, I look for ones that sit in my waterline. These do not work well on the lid. I have to use a much finer tipped pencil on my lid because of my hooded eyes. But in the waterline, this one is fab. I absolutely love it, and it stays put. I can tend to get watery, what are these things? They're eyes. And if my eyes are watering, Anya Stamper told me a trick that somebody had told her. Just take a little Q-tip and dab it. But these really stay well in your waterline, so I'm super happy about that one. Another one that, it works well on my lid, but not so much in my waterline. This is the number 7. You can see how beautiful and creamy it is on the hand. This is called the Stay Perfect. Sometimes it works on my waterline, sometimes it doesn't, and I just want something more consistent. But if I just want a smudge of color on my lash line, this is beautiful because they go on so nicely and don't tug. Of course, you know I love my Clinique. This is almost my favorite. I have like 3. This is the Pretty Easy Liquid Liner. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It dries down. It's black, it's matte, and it is dark and pigmented. And this is another one that I've been loving. The problem is I have to sharpen it all the freaking time, like every time I use it because it's so soft. This is the Urban Decay Perversion. It's in the color Perversion. It's a 24/7 Glide-On eye pencil. This is also really excellent for your waterline. I said, but I have to sharpen it like every single time. Because it's so soft and creamy, it doesn't hold like a point. So I'm sharpening all the time. It was much larger when I got it. And then this silly little thing, I love this. This is from Brow Gal. And this is just a sample of the brow gel. I have to get this when my other Ulta ones run out because I liked the Ulta ones. I am in love with this one. But this one's like $20 and I hate paying $20 for like a brow gel. But the color is good and I just love that little teeny tiny baby tip. I gave one to my mom and it really, hold on. And my mom has extremely, like, sparse eyebrows, and it really does, like, you know, plump them up a little bit. It makes them look great. So, 3 more things, my friends, and these are bad things. I love this. This is the Vanilla Bean Nutmeg Philosophy Body Gel. Why do I have to be Hercules to use this? You should just be able to do this and la la la, pour it out. No. Maybe it's me. Tell me if you have this problem. I cannot squeeze this. I have to take this off and do this in the shower. I have the same problem with this and my peppermint one. What the heck? I don't understand it. Why is it so difficult to open and squeeze onto my loofah and not have to sit there and squeeze it against my leg to get the product out? If you know the answer, leave it in the comments because I'm curious. I love it though. It's a wonderful body wash. Somebody fix that, please. I was hoping I would love this. I bought this. It was like really much on sale. I think I also got this at the 75% off. It is the IGK No More Blow High Speed Air Dry Spray. You're supposed to spray this on, and I tried it with, obviously I dry my hair straight because my hair is very curly. I figured this would be fabulous for when I left my hair curly. No. I don't quite know how to, it kind of goes like that, and it's alcohol based. And you're supposed to like spray it into your hair, and like it's supposed to like speed up the drying time of your hair. All it did was kind of make my hair kind of crunchy and the texture and frizzy, and I really wanted to like this very much because I would give anything to not to take 4 hours for my curly hair to dry without me blow it dry. But I unfortunately not. This, on the other hand, I'm so happy to be able to use again because over the summer I couldn't. And this is the Redken Pillow Proof Blow Dry. I use this in conjunction with the Redken Smoothing Oil. And when I'm wearing my hair straight, I will then spray this on. And then I put the Redken Diamond Glow Oil on top of that. And when I blow dry my hair, it blow dries quicker. And this is what I get. You know what I mean? It's a really great combination. Been really enjoying the Redken products. So if you want to dry your hair, it's not like it's magically, you know, cut by what is the word I'm looking for? It's not like it's 90% faster, but it does cut the drying time quite a bit by using this, and you do have to shake it, and I do like it, so if you want to try it, they're always on sale. And that is it, my friends. I want to thank you so very much for joining me. These are all of the products that I've been loving and yeah, no, not so much over this entire month. Please let me know if there's anything that I missed that you suggest that you think I should try. I'm always all ears, and I love talking with you guys in the comments. I love you guys so very much. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, whatever part of the world you are on and in and around. And I will see you in my very next video. Much love, everybody. Bye.